What if the things you throw away could come back to life, not in the trash bin, but in your garden? Imagine tires turning into kangaroos, bottles into colorful birds, and sticks into fairy huts. Welcome to Mind Over Decoration, where creativity meets sustainability. In today's video, we'll explore 17+ summer upcycling ideas that will transform your backyard into a magical retreat. This video has timestamps. Jump to the idea you like most, and don't hesitate to leave a comment with your questions. If you enjoy it, take what you have right now and let your creativity bloom. Maybe to you, I'm just another face on a screen. But behind this content, there's a real story, and a real family. Every like, every comment, every subscribe, it truly matters. When you subscribe, you're not just helping a creator grow. You're keeping a dream alive. You're giving a small family hope, one click at a time. Thank you for being here, and thank you for seeing me. In the quiet warmth of a summer afternoon, the garden holds its breath, waiting for discovery. At the heart of this blooming sanctuary rests a curious shape, a humble tire, once destined for the forgotten heap, now reborn as a wombat ground hugger. Stout and steady, it crouches low to the earth, its form echoing the creature that inspired it, gentle, grounded, and quietly endearing. Painted in eucalyptus green with soft cream, the planter feels like a natural extension of the landscape, as if it had always belonged here. Within its rounded body, summer flowers spill over, geraniums blushing pink, daisies lifting their golden faces to the sun. Bees trace lazy arcs through the air, weaving between blooms, while butterflies pause to rest on petals before fluttering onward. A ring of lavender hugs the base, their violet wands swaying lightly with the breeze. Each brush of air releases a fragrance that lingers on the skin, mingling with the bright citrus of nearby lemon balm. Together, these scents form a natural shield against the hum of summer pests, making this corner not only beautiful but alive with purpose. Behind the wombat planter, the garden stretches into a painter's canvas. Delphiniums and foxgloves rise like brushstrokes of pastel towers, while strawberries peek red beneath their leaves. The scene is one of abundance, of life in motion, yet centered by the calm presence of this upcycled figure. To stumble upon it is to find delight in the unexpected. A child might reach out, certain that the wombat could blink at any moment. A gardener might pause, inspired by the way something discarded has been transformed into joy. In its simplicity, the wombat ground hugger tells a story of care, of finding beauty in what was overlooked, of grounding creativity in the soil of ordinary things. And so, the garden whispers a reminder: sometimes the most magical companions are those we shape with our own hands, from the pieces the world has left behind. dappled light of a summer garden, a song seems almost to echo, a playful laugh drifting from the trees. Yet here, the call of the kookaburra has been translated into form, captured not in feather and flight, but in the humble shapes of recycled bottles. Balanced gracefully upon a twig rail, the kookaburra perch planter feels both whimsical and wise. Painted in a palette of sky blue and white, it mirrors the vast canopy above, a small reminder of open skies and bright horizons. From within its curved silhouette, summer flowers spill forth, petunias trailing in shades of violet, calendula glowing like tiny suns, daisies lifting their golden centers toward the day. At its feet, a patch of thyme unfurls, filling the air with its resinous perfume. Each crushed leaf, each tender sprig, tells of both flavor and fragrance, a dual gift of beauty and utility. Bees hum between blossoms, pausing as though charmed by this makeshift bird resting quietly among them. Around the planter, the garden unfurls in painterly strokes. A low fence clothed in honeysuckle hums with the movement of pollinators, while lavender leans into the sun, its violet spires alive with motion. Beyond, tomatoes swell on the vine, their skins glossy under the afternoon glow. It is a scene where abundance and artistry meet, where practicality waltzes with imagination. The kookaburra, known for its laughter, brings a quiet joy to the space. Here, laughter is not heard but felt, a lightness that rises when eyes meet this playful creation, born from what others once deemed trash. A child might believe it could take wing at any moment. A visitor might marvel at how simple bottles have been transformed into presence and personality. And so, the garden sings softly. Not with birdsong, but with the rustle of leaves, the buzz of bees, and the whisper of time. In the company of the kookaburra perch planter, summer's laughter lingers in the air, a reminder that even the discarded can perch again, radiant with new life. At the heart of the garden, where the sunlight filters like honey through leaves, a presence gleams in hues of deep midnight and teal. Here stands the Tūī Nectar Nook, a creation born from discarded things, an old tire, weathered bottles, yet given new voice in the language of summer. The tire curves into the bird's rounded body, while cut bottles spread like feathers across its form, catching the light with every shift of breeze. Painted in inky blue and teal, it mirrors the plumage of the tūī itself, a bird cherished for its melodious song and taste for nectar. Within the planter, blossoms spill abundantly, crimson bee balm lifting fiery crowns, violet salvia standing tall and slender, lavender swaying in soft waves of fragrance. Bees gather in golden rhythm, their hum blending with the whisper of the wind. Butterflies drift lazily, wings flashing like stained glass as they sip from the flowers. Around the base, catmint sprawls in silvery carpets, and marigolds flare like sparks of captured sunlight. Together, they form a living chorus of color and scent, a feast for both pollinators and the human heart. Beyond, the garden frames this vignette with climbing roses and beans that twist up trellises, grapevines reaching toward the sky. The air is thick with the perfume of thyme and lemon balm, plants chosen not only for beauty but also for their quiet guardianship, warding away summer's persistent pests. The Tūī Nectar Nook stands as a reminder: transformation is not just possible, it is beautiful. What once was trash, rubber, plastic, forgotten fragments, now cradles life, feeding bees, offering blooms, and igniting wonder in those who pass by. A child might marvel at the shimmer of its painted feathers, a gardener might pause, inspired to see potential where once there was none. In the hush of evening, as the garden slows, the figure of the Tūī seems almost to stir, as though ready to lift from its perch and vanish into twilight. Yet it remains, grounded and generous, a song made visible, a sanctuary for nectar, and a testament to the artistry of renewal. There is a quiet ingenuity in the garden, a place where nature's architecture meets human imagination. Among the blooms and pathways rests the Beaver Dam Herb Wheel, a creation that honors both resourcefulness and renewal. What began as discarded rubber has been shaped into tiers, each layer echoing the sturdy foundation of a beaver's dam. Around the rims, sticks are woven and tucked, as though gathered from a woodland stream, lending the structure a texture both wild and deliberate. Painted in rich chocolate and warm caramel tones, the planter feels earthy, grounding the scene with its natural palette. From the openings spill herbs in fragrant abundance. Mint stretches eagerly, its cool leaves brushing the air with freshness. Chives rise slender and green, their purple blossoms dotting the display with delicate crowns. Basil unfolds in glossy leaves, adding depth and spice to the scent that lingers around the planter. Together, they weave a tapestry of green life, practical and poetic. Around its base, lavender stands sentinel, its violet plumes humming with bees. Lemon balm and citronella grass add their citrus fragrance, a protective circle that wards away summer's restless insects. The whole creation hums not only with beauty but with purpose, a living pantry and a natural guardian for the garden. Behind, grapevines stretch along a rustic trellis, their clusters beginning to swell under the sun. Tomatoes ripen on the vine, and the tall stalks of sunflowers watch like golden keepers over the scene. Every element contributes to an atmosphere of abundance, where sustenance and art meet in harmony. The Beaver Dam Herb Wheel is more than a planter, it is a story sculpted in tire and timber. A reminder that what was once cast aside can be reimagined into something nurturing, something that provides not only for the eye but for the table. It whispers of resilience, of how even the most ordinary materials can become extraordinary when placed in the current of creativity. And as the summer evening draws near, the wheel seems to glow softly in the slanting light, a quiet dam holding not water, but life itself. The summer garden sings in color, and at its heart shines the Lorikeet Cascade planter, a vision spun from bottles once cast aside. Like the bird that inspired it, this creation is a chorus of hues, each layer shimmering with life and joy. The bottles, arranged in tumbling tiers, mimic the iridescent feathers of a lorikeet mid-flight. Painted in scarlet, cobalt, emerald, and gold, they gleam beneath the sun, their brightness softened only by the tender weight of flowers spilling from within. Marigolds unfurl like tiny suns, zinnias paint bold strokes of crimson and orange, while lobelia trails delicate blue ribbons through the air. Around its base, marigolds flare in fire-bright clusters, their scent both cheerful and purposeful, drawing bees and butterflies to join the feast. Lavender leans nearby, its soft purple haze whispering fragrance into the air, while citronella geraniums spread their lemony guard, offering protection from summer's persistent guests. The planter does not stand alone, it is framed by the abundance of a cottage garden in full season. Foxgloves lift their spires of pastel bells, hollyhocks tower like painted sentinels. A picket fence catches the climbing roses, each bloom a blush of pink and cream against the sun-warmed wood. Behind, grapevines climb steadily, their green clusters swelling, promising sweetness yet to come. The Lorikeet Cascade planter embodies celebration. It is joy made tangible, a reminder that beauty often begins in unlikely places, in this case, bottles that might have been forgotten. With imagination and care, they have been transformed into a radiant focal point, alive with the pulse of summer. Children may see in its feathers the wings of a bird about to take flight. Gardeners may see in its colors the possibility of transformation. Every passerby feels the same gentle tug, the invitation to reimagine, to find magic not beyond reach but in the everyday. As the evening light turns golden, the planter glows like a jewel in the garden's crown, laughter and life distilled into form. The lorikeet does not sing here, yet its presence resounds, in color, in abundance, in joy. In the shimmer of summer sunlight, where the garden hums with color and sound, rises a form both delicate and enduring. It is the Seahorse vertical garden, sculpted from bottles once discarded, now reborn into a graceful silhouette that curls like a wave frozen in motion. Painted in hues of sea glass aqua and turquoise, the figure seems as though it has drifted ashore from some hidden reef, carrying the essence of the ocean into the garden. Along its spine and sweeping curve, bottles cradle blossoms that spill with life, catnip sprouting fragrant greens, blue salvia lifting slender spires, lobelia trailing like strands of waterweed caught in the tide. At its base, citronella grass sways in rhythm with the breeze, its citrus scent mingling with the sweetness of nearby lavender and lemon balm. The fragrance rises like a soft veil, keeping pests at bay while inviting bees and butterflies to linger in its shelter. Their movement fills the air with a dance that mirrors the waves the seahorse once knew. Around it, the garden frames the figure in abundance. Cobblestones curve into a winding path, foxgloves and grapevines stretch upward, and sunflowers stand tall as guardians of light. Apple branches bow gently under the weight of their fruit, whispering promises of harvest yet to come. In this space, every plant contributes to the chorus of life, each note echoing the joy of summer in full bloom. The Seahorse vertical garden speaks to resilience, to transformation, to the poetry of renewal. From bottles forgotten, a creature of whimsy has emerged, embodying both fragility and strength. Children may see a guardian of the sea, standing sentinel in their backyard. Gardeners may see a reminder that beauty is not bound to what is new, but discovered in the reimagined. As twilight gathers, the painted blues and greens glow against the amber light, and the seahorse seems almost alive, caught between ocean and earth, between memory and rebirth. It is a story of hope, shaped in plastic and bloom, a vertical hymn to summer's endless tide. In the soft light of summer, where gardens brim with laughter and abundance, two unlikely sentinels stand watch. Perched on their rocky mound, the Puffin Cliff Duo bring the charm of the sea into the heart of a cottage garden. What were once worn and forgotten tires have been given form anew, stacked, shaped, and painted into the likeness of puffins. Their plumage is bold in navy and white, their beaks a splash of vivid orange that seems to glow against the greenery. Though made of rubber, they carry the personality of seabirds perched high on cliffs, gazing out across waves only imagined here. Within their rounded bodies, life overflows. Seaside daisies bloom in cheerful bursts, their petals wide as if smiling at the sun. Rosemary stretches upward, its scent sharp and invigorating, weaving through the air like a salty breeze. Around their stone perch, lavender hums with bees, and marigolds scatter warmth at their feet, glowing like embers scattered across the soil. The garden beyond frames them with generosity. A trellis draped in climbing tomatoes and grapevines rises behind, promising fruit to come. Foxgloves lift pastel spires, while a cobblestone path meanders nearby, leading the eye deeper into the abundance of blooms and leaves. It is a landscape alive, a place where creativity has taken root alongside the practical rhythms of growth. The Puffin Cliff Duo invite delight at every glance. A child might imagine them taking wing at dusk, flapping back toward distant islands. A gardener might pause, marveling at how discarded rubber has been transformed into something both playful and purposeful. In their painted faces lies the reminder that art and imagination are not luxuries, but essential threads in the fabric of life. As the sun leans low, casting amber glow across their beaks, the puffins seem to watch the horizon, guardians of joy and ingenuity. They are not birds of the sea, but of the garden, rooted, blooming, and eternal in their quiet humor. In the heart of summer, the garden becomes a stage for color and companionship. Upon a rustic branch rail sit two unlikely partners, reborn from bottles once forgotten. Together they are the blue jay and robin pair, perched as though mid-conversation, their painted feathers gleaming in the sun. The blue jay stands tall in cobalt and white, a splash of sky captured in form. Its bottle body overflows with blossoms, geraniums glowing pink, lobelia trailing in cool blues. Beside it, the robin rests warmly, painted in russet and orange, its planter brimming with marigolds and calendula that echo the tones of its chest. Together, they form a duet of hues, bold against soft, summer sky beside summer earth. At their feet, a carpet of thyme and lavender spreads outward, filling the air with fragrance that lingers on the breeze. Bees dart between blossoms, humming a steady rhythm, while butterflies hover delicately before drifting toward the marigolds. The scene hums with movement, every detail alive with purpose. The garden beyond frames this pair in harmony. Roses climb a weathered fence, their petals blushing under golden light. Grapevines curl upward, their clusters swelling with fruit. Sunflowers rise like watchtowers, their faces following the sun across the day. The abundance of summer feels endless, yet it is anchored here, by two small birds born of bottles and imagination. There is a story in their presence, of companionship, of balance, of how differences create beauty when joined together. The blue jay is bright and daring, the robin, warm and steady. Together, they remind the garden's visitors that contrasts can sit side by side, not in discord but in song. As the evening draws in and the sky softens, the blue jay and robin pair seem almost to glow, their painted colors catching the last of the light. They are not just planters, but symbols of renewal, of creativity, of how laughter and life are found in the union of the unexpected. There are corners of the garden where joy seems to gather, where the simplest shapes can lift the spirit. Among the blooms and herbs, one such presence beams gently, the Quokka smile planter. Formed from an upcycled tire, its rounded body has been coaxed into the likeness of a quokka, known as the happiest animal on earth. Painted in soft apricot and cream tones, the planter's face curves into a perpetual smile, its expression as warm as the summer sun. Though made of rubber, it radiates a charm that feels alive, playful, and impossibly welcoming. From within its cheerful form, life spills outward. Lemon balm unfurls in fragrant sprays, its citrus freshness catching the breeze, while catmint spreads in silver-green waves, humming with the delicate touch of bees. Together they create a fragrant chorus, mingling with the soft perfume of nearby lavender and the brightness of marigolds at its base. Pollinators move in lively arcs, drawn to the abundance as though the quokka itself were calling them with laughter. The scene is framed by the garden's generous backdrop. A rustic trellis supports grapevines swelling with green clusters, while sunflowers stretch tall, their golden faces beaming like companions to the planter's smile. Beyond, roses climb a picket fence, their blossoms glowing pink and cream against sunlit wood. Every detail contributes to a sense of abundance and delight, as though the garden itself were grinning back. The Quokka smile planter is more than a vessel for herbs, it is a story of transformation. From a discarded tire emerges not just a container, but a character, an emblem of happiness, resilience, and creativity. It reminds visitors that joy can be crafted from the ordinary, that beauty is not bound to perfection but to the energy we pour into renewal. As dusk settles, the quokka's painted face seems to catch the fading light, its smile lingering long after shadows fall. In its company, the garden feels brighter, lighter, and filled with laughter that does not need a sound to be heard. As the summer day leans into twilight, the garden softens into a place of quiet wonder. Along the pathways, light flickers, not from the stars above, but from creations that glow close to the earth. These are the Geode-Glow fairy lanterns, born from recycled bottles yet transformed into jewels of the night. Each bottle has been shaped with care, its sides carved into crystalline windows that catch and scatter the light. Painted in shades of amethyst and aqua, the lanterns shimmer even before the sun sets, their colors echoing the depths of gemstones hidden within the earth. When evening falls, the solar caps awaken, and the lanterns radiate a soft, steady glow, like fragments of starlight brought down to rest among the blooms. The lanterns are not solitary, they weave themselves into the rhythm of the garden. Lavender borders frame their light, their violet spires glowing like sentinels in the dusk. Marigolds flicker in orange bursts, echoing the warmth of firelight. Between them, thyme and lemon balm spill fresh greens, their fragrance rising with the coolness of nightfall. In the distance, roses climb an archway, their petals pale against the dimming sky, while grapevines curl upward, heavy with fruit. Fireflies drift lazily among the lanterns, drawn into the glow, while bees retreat into the quiet of their hives. The garden seems to breathe more slowly now, wrapped in the embrace of both shadow and light. The Geode-Glow fairy lanterns remind all who wander here that beauty need not be bound to grandeur. From bottles destined for discard, light has been born. From the ordinary, magic emerges. Visitors pause at their glow, children cupping their hands to catch the dancing reflections, gardeners marveling at how something so simple can feel so enchanted. As darkness deepens, the lanterns become the garden's quiet stars, steady and faithful. They do not ask for notice, yet they give their light generously, turning every step into a journey and every evening into a dream. In the lively rhythm of summer, where every corner of the garden bursts with growth, a figure stands tall and whimsical. The kangaroo pouch planter, crafted from a single upcycled tire, brings both playfulness and abundance into the heart of the cottage landscape. Painted in citrus-bright tones of yellow and orange, the planter glows like a fragment of sunlight anchored to the earth. Its upright stance mimics the proud form of a kangaroo, while the hollow of its pouch has been reimagined as a cradle for flowers. From within spill marigolds and nasturtiums, their warm petals echoing the planter's colors as if the kangaroo were carrying summer itself. At its feet, lavender unfurls in soft purple haze, humming with bees that drift lazily from bloom to bloom. Lemon balm spreads in a fresh green cushion, its citrusy scent mingling with the warmth of sunlit air. Together, they create a living circle that frames the kangaroo, grounding its brightness with fragrance and purpose. The garden around it feels alive with harmony. Grapevines climb with patient strength, foxgloves and hollyhocks tower in pastel strokes, and tomato vines swell with glossy fruit. Every element leans into the fullness of the season, a celebration of growth, color, and generosity. The kangaroo pouch planter captures more than novelty, it tells a story of transformation. A discarded tire, once without value, has been reshaped into a figure of delight. It carries flowers instead of burdens, joy instead of weight. Children laugh at its friendly stance, imagining the kangaroo hopping away with its pouch of blooms. Gardeners smile at its practicality, knowing that herbs or flowers can thrive in its cradle. As twilight drapes the garden in golden softness, the kangaroo seems to glow from within, its colors deepening against the fading light. It is a reminder that creativity can animate even the simplest of materials, turning what was forgotten into something unforgettable. In its pouch lies not just flowers, but a message that renewal, like summer, is always within reach. In the golden hours of summer, where every flower seems to lean toward the light, a figure rises from the garden like a stroke of joy painted across the earth. It is the Flamingo stilt planter, a creation both graceful and playful, sculpted from an upcycled tire. With its long, elegant neck arched in a gentle S-curve, the planter captures the flamingo's distinctive poise. Painted in vivid hot pink with coral highlights, it gleams against the green canvas of the garden, as though a living bird had stepped into this cottage corner and taken root. Its rounded body, once rubber and forgotten, now cradles blossoms, petunias and geraniums spilling forth in shades that echo the flamingo's own bright plumage. At its feet, the earth hums with life. Lavender spreads in hazy purple waves, its scent drifting with every breeze. marigolds flare in warm bursts of gold and orange, mingling with the citrus freshness of lemon balm. Together they form a living stage, a fragrant carpet that supports the flamingo's vibrant stance. Bees and butterflies move between them, as though bowing to the figure's quiet majesty. The garden beyond swells with abundance. Sunflowers lift their golden heads high, grapevines climb their trellises with steady grace, and hollyhocks rise like painted towers in shades of pastel. Every element leans into the season, generous and unrestrained. The flamingo stilt planter tells a story of transformation and delight. Where once stood a discarded tire, now blooms a symbol of elegance, carrying summer's colors as naturally as feathers. Children laugh at its tall stance, imagining it wading through imaginary waters. Gardeners admire its height, which brings blooms closer to eye level, turning practical planting into art. As evening falls, the flamingo glows against the fading light, its pink and coral hues deepening into a jewel-like brilliance. In its stillness, it reminds us that beauty need not move to be alive, it only needs to be seen, to be shaped, and to be loved. In the quiet heart of the summer garden, a passageway shimmers with imagination. It is the dragonfly portal trellis, woven from branches gathered with care, shaped into an arch that seems ready to lift its wings and take flight. The structure rises gracefully, its circular hoop forming a threshold, its stick wings outstretched like a guardian of the path. Painted in soft hues of aqua, silver, and sea glass green, it gleams faintly in the sunlight, blending both the strength of wood and the delicacy of a dragonfly's form. Around its frame, climbing cucumbers wind steadily upward, their tendrils curling like green handwriting against the branches. Morning glories and nasturtiums weave bright blossoms across the arch, scattering red, orange, and violet into the air. Bees hum eagerly at the flowers, butterflies pause mid-flight, and the whole trellis becomes alive with movement, as though the dragonfly itself were stirring. At its feet, lavender and lemon balm spread outward, their fragrance rich and calming, offering both beauty and a natural shield against summer's insects. Catmint pushes up in soft tufts, attracting pollinators that weave the garden's symphony together. The path beneath the arch, made of cobblestone softened with moss, invites visitors forward, as if passing through the trellis might transport them into another, quieter world. Beyond, the garden swells with abundance. Foxgloves lift pastel towers, grapevines climb upward with promise of fruit, and apple branches hang heavy with ripening sweetness. Every element joins in the chorus of growth, making the dragonfly's portal not just an object, but a living part of the whole. The dragonfly portal trellis is more than a frame for climbing plants, it is an invitation. To children, it is a doorway into a fairy's world, to gardeners, a celebration of transformation, where dry sticks have become a structure of both purpose and poetry. And as dusk falls, the arch glows in twilight, framed by flowers and the hum of evening insects. It whispers softly, every threshold in a garden is also a threshold in the heart, where imagination and renewal meet. There is a corner of the summer garden where whimsy meets utility, where a creature of the woodland takes on new life. Nestled among lavender and marigolds rests the Hedgehog herb pockets, a planter born of bottles and imagination. Its rounded form bristles with recycled bottles, each one painted in soft taupe, peach, and sandy hues to echo the texture of quills. What might once have been seen as waste has become a playful figure, its spines transformed into pockets of growth. From them, herbs unfurl eagerly, basil stretches in glossy leaves, dill feathers upward with lightness, and thyme spills low in fragrant waves. Together, they create not just a sculpture, but a living pantry. The air around hums with life. Bees dart among the herbs, pausing before drifting onto lavender's violet blooms nearby. Butterflies settle on marigolds at the base, their wings flashing in the sun. The scents rise together, lemon balm citrus, thyme's resin, basil spice, making the hedgehog as fragrant as it is endearing. Beyond, the cottage garden frames the figure with generosity. A cobblestone path winds past grapevines that climb with patient determination, sunflowers turning their faces skyward, and foxgloves that stand like painted towers. Each element adds to the chorus of growth, reminding visitors that this place is both playful and abundant. Children delight in the hedgehog herb pockets, reaching out as if the little creature might shuffle away into the undergrowth. Gardeners smile at its cleverness, appreciating how form and function blend in this upcycled creation. It is a reminder that imagination does not replace utility, it enhances it. As evening comes and the sun sinks low, the hedgehog's painted spines catch the amber glow, making it appear almost alive. What was once mere plastic has become presence, what was once discarded has become cherished. In its quiet corner, the hedgehog herb pockets whispers a gentle truth, that joy often grows in the spaces where creativity and care converge. In the sunlit calm of the garden, a shape both familiar and surprising rests close to the earth. It is the sea turtle herb disc, a creation that carries the memory of the ocean into a summer landscape of green. Formed from a single upcycled tire, its rounded body is softened with paint in olive and mint hues, echoing the tones of seaweed and sand-washed shells. From its sides stretch flippers made of recycled bottles, angled outward as though ready to paddle once more. Yet instead of drifting through water, the turtle now cradles life in a new form, oregano, thyme, and parsley spilling in fragrant cascades from its center. Around its base, lavender sways gently, its violet blooms alive with bees. Marigolds spark bright orange and gold, drawing butterflies into their fiery clusters. Lemon balm and citronella grass spread nearby, their citrus fragrance warding off summer pests and weaving an invisible shield around the planter. Together, they make the turtle not just an ornament, but a guardian of herbs and harmony. The garden around it brims with abundance. Grapevines curl upward on a trellis, foxgloves rise in pastel towers, and tomatoes swell red on sunlit vines. Every detail hums with the fullness of the season, framing the turtle in a chorus of growth and purpose. Children pause before the planter, tracing the flippers with wonder, imagining the turtle ready to journey across the soil like it once did across waves. Gardeners smile, appreciating how something once discarded has been reshaped into both delight and usefulness. As evening falls, the sea turtle herb disc seems to glow in the amber light, its mint-green body softened by shadows, its herbs lifting scents into the cooling air. It is a reminder that renewal flows not only in water, but also in creativity, that even a tire and bottles can become a vessel of life, carrying summer's abundance upon its back. Along the edge of a summer garden, where flowers spill freely and bees hum in golden rhythm, a border catches the eye, not stone, nor wood, but wings. The butterfly mosaic edger flutters in stillness, crafted from bottles that once held nothing but now hold the spirit of flight. Each bottle has been shaped and painted with care, forming wings in shades of pastel pink, lavender, mint, and buttercream yellow. Arranged as edging, they line pathways and beds like a trail of butterflies frozen mid-dance. In the sunlight, their colors shimmer softly, casting delicate glows on the flowers they guard. Within their embrace, life thrives. Lavender rises in purple spires, humming with bees. Alyssum spreads in carpets of white, spilling sweetness into the air. Marigolds flare at intervals, their orange bursts echoing the fiery joy of summer. Together, they weave a tapestry of fragrance and color, framed by wings that speak of imagination. Around the edgers, the garden's abundance unfolds. Grapevines climb steadily on trellises, foxgloves lift pastel towers, and apple branches bow with the weight of fruit. A cobblestone path winds nearby, softened by moss and framed by roses that climb gracefully over a fence. It is a space that feels alive with movement, even in its stillness. The butterfly mosaic edger carries more than decoration, it holds meaning. What was once plastic waste now flutters as symbol of transformation, of fragility reimagined as strength, of beauty born from renewal. Children skip along the path, imagining the wings lifting at dusk. Gardeners pause, inspired by how simple bottles have been turned into a chorus of color. As twilight arrives, the pastel wings deepen in tone, glowing against the fading light. The butterflies remain grounded, yet their presence lifts the spirit, whispering a truth the garden knows well, that every edge can be a threshold into wonder, if shaped with care and seen with imagination. In a quiet nook of the summer garden, nestled among flowers and herbs, stands a dwelling that feels more like a dream than a design. The Puffball fairy tea house, woven from dry branches and crowned with vines, invites the imagination to linger. Its rounded form rises like a woodland puffball, softened by the green touch of grapevines that weave across its roof. A small twig chimney curls skyward, as though ready to carry wisps of fairy smoke into the evening air. At its threshold, marigolds glow in fiery bursts, while alyssum spreads in white clusters like lace scattered across the earth. The path to its door is made of smooth stones, softened by moss, inviting gentle steps closer. Around the tea house, lavender and thyme spill fragrance freely, their scents mingling into the air as bees hum and butterflies flicker past. Lemon balm spreads bright leaves nearby, releasing a citrus note whenever touched by breeze. Together, they create not just a frame for the structure, but a living chorus of color, scent, and sound. Beyond, the garden swells in abundance. Foxgloves lift tall spires of pastel bells, hollyhocks stand like painted guardians, and fruiting tomatoes gleam red beneath their vines. Grapevines stretch upward, promising sweetness in days to come. Every detail layers into a picture of generosity and delight, a summer symphony cradling the tiny hut at its heart. The Puffball Fairy Tea House is more than a garden ornament, it is a story given form. To a child, it is a place where fairies sip tea and whisper secrets in the twilight. To a gardener, it is a symbol of creativity, proof that dry branches and simple vines can become architecture, poetry, and play. As evening deepens, the little hut glows softly in the amber light, its round silhouette blending with the hum of the garden. It whispers quietly, that wonder is not only found in distant places, but built here, with our own hands, from the materials the earth offers freely. And that's our journey through 17 plus upcycled summer garden ideas, from kangaroos and puffins to fairy lanterns and dragonfly trellises. Which idea spoke to you the most? Drop it in the comments, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to hit like if you found inspiration, and subscribe for more magical DIY garden transformations. Until next time, keep creating beauty from the unexpected, and let your garden tell its story.